Hi, this is Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are speaking about a topic that speaks about leading by example. And leading by example is a very important topic because many times we want to say, listen to what I say, don't watch what I do, and don't follow what I do, but follow what I say. And that's actually incongruent because when we talk about leading by example, we're talking about the congruency between your words and your actions. Congruency between your actions and your words. What you say is exactly what you do, and that's very important. Now, to do that and lead by example, it is very important to be transparent. And I want to emphasize this because that's very key for us to speak about transparency as an individual. Be transparent as an individual. So communicating your thoughts and your thought process and decisions openly is very important. Because there are times when you think about things, but when you don't verbalize them and become transparent about that, people may not know what you're thinking. Because remember that people model what you think, because actions come out of what you think. You may act this particular way while you're thinking the other particular way, and people may actually judge you of your actions, only to find that if they knew your thought pattern and you've been transparent to people about it, they would know that this is not your intention to hurt them. It's not an intention or ill treatment to them. Because most of the time, people are judged based on their actions, and we may not know what they're thinking. But when people know the transparency about your thought process, people may bail you out in situations whereby they would otherwise have been offended. But because they know your thought process and you're transparent to them, they may actually know that this person has not intended ill here. This person has not intended wrong here. So therefore, people can be able to embrace you, and they may be able to forgive you even quicker when they know that you don't have any ill decision on that or ill treatment that you're aiming against them. Now, in this regard, we're mentioning that it is very important that as an individual, transparency becomes key. You become transparent with your thought process. You become transparent with your life as well. Let people know who you are, where you're coming from. If you're a forthright talker, let it be that they know that. If you're somebody who's quiet and reserved, let people be able to know that. And the type of decisions that you make, the type of principles that you believe in, when you are transparent to people about, people are able to actually know what you are all about and to be able to know that, but this person is like this based on what they know about you. And that comes from transparency. It's not many of us who are transparent. And I want to emphasize that great leaders that are leading by example become more transparent than ever. And I've seen people that are able to give example by themselves and be able to resemble behavior by themselves of what they believe in by displaying it. Those are people that become very authentic. When people know how transparent you are, you become authentic to the people. And people start believing in what you are saying because they know you're authentic enough. Now, communicating your thoughts, process, and decision openly, it becomes very important. Because what it does, it builds trust towards other people. People trust the people that they know. People trust the people that they understand. People trust the people that they surely know that this person is like this. And that is why when people mistrust you, it may not be the problem of those people. It's mainly maybe because you are not open enough to them. You are not transparent enough. And when you are not transparent enough to people, you may find that it is something that is actually making you not trustworthy, because people don't trust the people that they don't know well. So be transparent to the people, and as you do so, then people then become, they trust you better. And this is very, very important. Now, trust is built by transparency. And I must really say that even when you lead in teams, for your team to actually trust you, transparency must be on the table. You must be transparent with them. You must deal with them in a very transparent manner. They must know how you would behave in different circumstances. And they must know how you feel in different circumstances. So therefore, your emotions must never be a mystery to them. They must be able to know how you feel in such situations. And therefore, in that regard, when people know how you feel, they'll be able to know how to treat you and how to deal with situations around you as well. And this is very important that we emphasize that as well. Now, secondly, if you want to lead by example, you must learn to listen actively. You must learn to listen to people actively. Now, this is the weakness of many of us, whereby we want to talk, we want to be listened to, and we are not able to listen. And those of us who claim to be able to listen, we are not able to listen actively. Because there is a difference between listening actively and just listening. Because many of our listening is purely to prepare ourselves to respond. We listen to give a response. We listen to answer. So when you start to listen to people because you want to give a response, you listen to people because you want to give an answer, then that is not listening actively. And there are many of us who fail at this particular point, whereby we're listening to give a response and we think that we're listening actively to people. Now, people that want to lead by example, they listen actively to people. Because remember that listening to people actually enhances respect. People feel respected actually when you listen to them. And people that feel listened to, they feel honored, they feel listened to, they feel respected. And that's very important that we emphasize the fact that it is very important to listen to people actively, because those people will feel respected and honored by you when you listen to them actively. So encourage open communication and show you value. You value your people's input when you listen to them. Now, many people that are listened to, they want to participate more. Why? Because they know that somebody will listen to me. There are many people that are feeling now not listened to. And I want to urge you as a leader, as a young man who's a leader, that most of the time, when you see your best people withdrawing, you must know that they feel not listened to. They feel ignored by you. And therefore, if your best people are withdrawing, you are actually running the organization down. And you must realize that if your best people are not listening, they're withdrawing, is because you are not giving them attention. So it is very important then to be observant as well as you deal with people, that those people that are actually participating more, you know, it's because you are transparent in your listening and you are able to listen to them more. Because everyone who feels they are listened to, they want to participate, they want to speak, they want to climb the platform or podium and speak. And that's very important that we emphasize that. And I want to emphasize the fact that it is very important that you encourage listening amongst your team as well. That not only you as a leader listening to people, but let there be a culture of listening amongst your team members, because when you do that, you are basically promoting more openness in communication and you encourage participation from the people as well. Active communication is actually more because people are listening, and that's very, very important. Now, the input of other people is very important, by the way. And many times we don't listen because we think that we don't want to value the input of other people. But I want to urge you to understand that as a leader, it is going to be very important to listen to other people, because the input of other people is that which we learn from and we get better from. And I must really say that the learning should not be from people that you look up to only. There are those people that may be your quiet team members, even those that don't look intelligent enough. Their input is very key, and you would learn from it and promote it by listening to them as they speak. And the more you listen to them, the more they give valuable input that may be very key for the team and for your own self-growth as a leader. That's very, very important. So therefore, listening actively is very key, and it's actually leading by example, because the more you listen actively, the more you're promoting a culture of listening within your team, and that's very, very important. Now, by truly listening to people, their ideas come up. By truly listening to people, they share their ideas even more often. They don't hold back. Their concerns as well are not hidden, because many people hide their concerns because they literally just feel like nobody will listen to me anyway. Now, leading by example would speak by listening actively, speaking that let people open up with their concerns. Let people open up with their ideas as well and not be afraid to share them, because when people start to be afraid to share their ideas, that will limit actually an open forum of people speaking. So in that regard, then you're not leading by example. So there are times when you need feedback from the people, but people that feel like they're not listened to, they are not going to give their feedback, because feedback is encouraged by listening to people actively as well. And that is leading by example. And I want to urge you as a leader to make sure that you listen actively to the people that you're dealing with, whether they are subordinates, whether they are your team members. These are the people that are fellow workers, or your own friends and siblings as well. Very, very important that you are able to listen to people actively. And I must close by saying that those people that you listen to actively, they will listen as they reciprocate this, or they duplicate this to you as well. And they basically say, you listen to us, we want to listen to you as well. And this is very important that we emphasize, because there are many of us who think that we are not listened to, but yet we are the ones who are not listening, because if you don't have active listening, then therefore nobody will listen to you actively as well. Allow me to check out right here. But before we check out, we are going to remind you of our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, our Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum. So please click notification button as you follow that. Don't forget our YouTube channel as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel under Micornus Phokane, under Young Men Empowerment Forum, and click notification button as well. Our TikTok account up there for grabs that you can actually listen to. A lot of videos that were posted there, very important for you as well. And I believe that that will empower you as a young leader that is still developing, and you will see a lot of empowerment out of that, and your life shall never be the same again. So please allow me to check out right here until we meet again tomorrow with part 4 of this great topic. I believe you will join us tomorrow as we say again, leading by example. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.